Welcome back. My name is Jay Casey, partner and developer here at Dirigible Studio. Today, we're going to be talking about the structured list block. I am joined by Ryan Ike. He will help me make sure that I do not forget something important. Okay. To insert the structured list block, we are going to type / and we're going to select the structured list. The structured list parent block comes with list cards automatically populated to kind of get you started. You can add list cards and then you can also remove them. We will start with sort of the parent block settings and leave these alone for just a moment, but we will come back to the list cards after that. So we are going to start. I'm just going to say these list cards have kind of a headline and then a little description. I'm just going to put I think this is, I don't know what we're trying to list right now. Excuse my inability to come up with interesting examples. And so you can see here that you can edit your descriptions, and you can also edit the little headlines here in these list cards. And once you've done that, there are some settings that you can change in the parent structured list. I'm actually going to ignore the layout setting for now, and we're going to go through some of this other stuff, and then I'm going to come back to the layout setting. Okay. So you can change the style of all of your list cards. And you have some options here: outline, cards, compact, separator, primary. I like primary quite a bit. It adds this little blue, or well, in our case, it's blue, but it'll be your primary color of your site. It'll add like a branded color on the side here. I like those quite a bit. And naked is always useful as well. I'm going to go back to outlined. We are going to do, all right. And then you have headline style, which you can change. So you're obviously changing the headlines of each card. Again, you're probably almost never going to use H1s here, but there's still the option. Again, this is just styling. So these are actually all structured with like structured data. So they are all, Google friendly and search friendly. So they come with all of the kind of like schema and stuff that's associated with that. We have all of these all the way through paragraph and strong. You can change your description text size very slightly. Sometimes this is just a better option if you're trying to cram a lot of information in there. Icon size and runner size, these actually apply to some specific settings within the cards themselves or within the structured list items themselves. So I'm going to hop in and so we just have, so in a list card, we have default, numbered, icon, and runner. And this is basically, and I'm going to take you through them. So numbered is, and you can have individual ones, right? And if you wanted to change all of them, you can change all of them by selecting all of them and changing them. Runner allows you to, well, let's start with numbered. Numbered is obviously, I mean, you understand what a numbered list is. It's got numbers. If you, add another block and then you set it to numbered, it'll be the next number in your list. After numbered, we have icon, which allows us to select an icon to place. This icon is square. Let's just choose React. So we're going to put React there. You can see that it does look a little squished there. And one way of fixing that is we actually go back up here and we can change our icon size and runner size. And sometimes you can fix it here. As you can see, the aspect ratio is still off. So one way of fixing that is, and as you can see, the aspect ratio of this image isn't a square. Let's see if this one is. No, it's not. Let's see if our logo is. No. I wonder if we have any square images here. let's try this guy. Okay, so the SVG automatically is going to be fine there. So we have an icon there, and we can change and we can mess with the icon size and the runner size to give the icon a little more space if we wanted a really big icon. And we can also, make it a little smaller if we want there, right? This runner style does affect the numbered list as well. So you can change, the style based on your number. And again, these are all individual, right? So this is an icon list card. And then this would still be a numbered list card. And then next we will do a runner, and runners just let you pick, whatever you want to put in there, right? So if I wanted to put A, it'll still use, so like if you want to do A, B, C, D, E, like if you wanted to do that type of list, you could do that here. And let's hop back up to our structured list parent, and then we can change it. Now we have a big A, right? Obviously, this is a pretty useless list because it's a dirigible to A4, which is not how lists work. But H2, H3, H4, H5, strong. And runner can also hold like really simple, I believe it can also hold really simple HTML. So I, A, I. So you have an italics A there if you would like. And you can also put like, I don't know, today. And then if you go to your structured list, you give the today a little bit more size, and then you have your, maybe like an itinerary or something, because you could do like a cool, actually, I don't think I've ever done that, but you could do like 10:30. We're doing this, and then 11, and then we would set this to runner, and 11:30, and that looks kind of cool. And that's a good way of displaying an itinerary, right? So there are a lot of ways to kind of combine these grid cards to produce, and that's why it's just called a structured list, is because really it's not like it doesn't have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can be, any type of data that you're trying to structure, and usually it's organized in a where the order matters, right? That's really how to think about it, is does the order matter between all of these items? If so, then we can use a structured list. And even then, if you just want to include icons because they look cool, that's another application of it as well. The last thing that we haven't covered, actually, and that covers pretty much almost all of the structured list, the last thing that we haven't covered is the grid layout. And the grid layout does exactly what it says. It allows you to place these structured list cards into a grid, and you can do columns, 4 columns. And obviously you have to be careful with the amount of information that you're trying to put in here, right? And so you wouldn't use this for, and maybe something more like an actual grid, because there's the grid block from Dirigible as well, that allows you to, structure some of this data in a certain way. So this just provides another way of representing these grid cards. But you always sort of want to be careful. And yep, you can. So these will, great question from the audience. These you can hit with these the arrows, and you can also drag them. But I'm actually much more a fan of just tapping the arrows. And it does obviously still work in the list view as well. I'm going to get rid of this other grid here real quick so we're not confusing anything. But grid, and again, like I said, you can go up to columns. You can add another item, and again, so like you may want to use this for a menu, for example, but again, we also have a menu block. So always just be careful. You sort of want to be thinking about that stuff while you're building, because there may be, there are a lot of different tools that can, you can nail a nail with like a regular hammer, or you can do it with like, like a mallet, right? There's multiple ways to kind of serve the same purposes often. And so you really want to play and experiment with those different ways. Yeah, I think that covers the structured list quite well. Thank you so much, everyone. Again, if you have any questions, my name is Jake. You can shoot us an email, support@dirigible.studio